Right now, rain or shine, athletes laced up their sneakers today and ran their hearts out in the Madison Marathon. Plus, how to make sure you're getting enough nutrients during the cold winter months. Those stories and more coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Thousands of runners participated in this year's Madison Marathon races, from the 10K up to the full marathon. We put the spotlight on two of News 3 Now's very own as they reflect on today's races. Photojournalist Gabe Litzkow takes us to the Capitol Square with more.
We're in Madison, the best city in the country, and we're doing the marathon. Today, I did the marathon, my first marathon ever. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done physically.
I feel a lot better than I thought I would. About 2 miles out, I started cramping, but I just told myself, keep going, keep pushing. I've trained months for this, and I just have to lean back, allow my training.
A full marathon is 26.2 miles. So that's like the standard no matter where you go, but some courses are harder than others. This one was pretty hilly, but not terrible. But the hills still did kill me, so.
I mean, quite honestly, it's harder when you're training for it because you're by yourself, but being out here amongst all these people here at the Capitol, the entire time you're surrounded by people, so you feed off of each other's energy. So my mind is just focused on, really just getting through. But again, with everybody around you, it makes it so much easier.
It was the cherry on top to a very difficult year and a very tumultuous year. I've had so much change in my life, so many things thrown my way, and I feel like I left it all out on the course today. And I did not leave. There was nothing left for me to give, and it's all on the course. And I feel like it's a really fresh start for me. So I'm really proud of myself that I did it.
So I worked really hard for this. For those of you at home, whatever goal you want to accomplish, whatever it is in life that you want to do, just know that you can do it.
If you have any desire to do anything hard in your life, it doesn't have to be a marathon, it doesn't have to be a half marathon, but anything hard in your life, just sign up, and then you're obligated to do it. And then you can prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And if you want to do a marathon, I recommend doing it in Madison.
I can certainly attest that those hills were brutal, but congrats to my colleague Meryl Hubbard for getting it done today. Now let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, is that rain going to be sticking around like it was earlier today?
No, we're going to be drying out as we go throughout the rest of your Sunday night and continue to clear out the clouds throughout the day on Monday. Maybe leaning a little bit more partly sunny as we go into your Veterans Day, but we are not anticipating any rain. We're at 51 in Madison, 50 in Beloit, 48 in Green Lake, 49 in Sullivan, 47 in Eustisford underneath mostly cloudy conditions. And again, we're going to sit underneath mostly cloudy conditions here at least for the next several hours, and then we'll start to clear on out. The last of the rain wrapped up probably about 8:30, maybe as late as 9, but that was light in nature. The rain that we did see today, anywhere between a couple tenths of an inch to about 1/4 of an inch. If you get to those dark green areas, that's where we're closing in on maybe towards that ½ inch mark. But overall, it was a very light rain for your Sunday. We're looking at the 40s for overnight lows, low to mid 40s. And again, we are going to be clearing out the clouds for your Veterans Day. We're going to break down what we can expect as we are either remembering or thanking the active members that are still serving for Veterans Day in your full forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you then. Firefighters across the country are busy as they're fighting fires throughout. Wildfires burned across New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania this weekend, filling skies with smoke and claiming at least one life. A ferocious mountain fire in Camarillo, California, sparing little in its 32-mile path. Janice Lindsay is one of many homeowners who lost everything to the fire, including her 2 cats.
We had our hands on both of them at one point, and they broke free. I'm certain they didn't get out.
In the East, wildfires have ignited in several states. In New York, a tragic loss. 18-year-old Dario Vasquez, a state parks employee, died battling the Jennings Creek fire. Vitamin D is essential to our health. It helps our bodies absorb nutrients, which leads to healthy bones. It also supports the way our immune system functions. SSM Health family physician and wellness doctor, Coach Rupa Shah, explains how to know if you're getting enough vitamin D, as well as how to boost your immune system even during the cold and dark winter months.
Dr. Shah, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So first and foremost, how do we get enough vitamin D?
Yeah, so vitamin D, really, we do call it the sunshine vitamin. So we do require our skin to be out in the sun. We do need direct exposure to sunlight to really activate that vitamin D and get enough of it. So of course, a lot of us living here in these northern latitudes, when it's cold and in the winter, we don't get outside and we don't get enough sunlight. So it can be difficult. There are some foods, you know, dairy, eggs, salmon, you know, certain fish, you know, so you get a little bit through dietary means, but it's really difficult. So sometimes a supplement is the only way to get enough vitamin D.
Wow. And so what are some signs that we aren't getting enough vitamin D? How do we know we're deficient of that vitamin D? What are those things?
Yeah, the signs of vitamin D can actually be kind of vague, so it can be a little difficult. Fatigue, just not feeling as energetic, sometimes having mild depression or even that seasonal affective disorder can be a sign of vitamin D deficiency. A later sign is people will get a lot of like deep bone and muscle aching even. So if you're starting to notice things like that, it's a really good idea to visit your physician. And the best way to know if you're deficient is to get a vitamin D level checked by your physician this winter.
Okay, so there's tests for everything out there.
There really is, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Just ask.
Yes, just ask about it. So you gave us a couple of ways of how we can get some of that vitamin D. What are some other ways that we can, you know, really involve that vitamin D in our day-to-day lives?
Yeah, so again, if you can get outside and get some natural sunlight, even for a good 10 to 15 minutes is a great way to do it. Again, certain foods are vitamin D fortified, certain cereals, eggs with the yolk are another good way to get vitamin D. But again, going back to needing that supplement. Most people in the wintertime need about 1,000 to 2,000 international units or IUs of vitamin D per day, and sometimes even more depending on what your levels are.
Okay, so a lot more than I was imagining there.
Yes.
Okay.
And especially those of us like us with darker skin, we need a little bit more and can be even more deficient in vitamin D. So it's really important to talk to your physician about it. Yeah.
The more you know, and we love your tips. So where can we find more?
So you can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
Very good, Dr. Shah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Kyriana and Dr. Shah, thank you. Still to come on News 3 Now at 10, how to make sure you're keeping your guests safe while cooking your big holiday meals. And President-elect Donald Trump and President Joe Biden are set to meet this week as Trump's incoming administration starts to take shape.
Iron Jack products are wicking, cooling, anti-static, and built with four-way stretch. Their silver ion technology eliminates 99.9% of the bacteria. If you don't love it, send it back. No questions asked. Iron Jack.
The Madison Club, providing you with outstanding cuisine, extraordinary service, and an experience like you won't find anywhere else in town. Join today.
This is Ford Truck Month, with big offers on the trucks that don't subscribe to the word impossible. Like the off-road ready Ranger, the adaptable Maverick, plus F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, featuring the 2024 Ford F-150, and Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year, all with offers that make owning one possible. This is Ford Truck Month. Hurry to the final days of Truck Month to lease an F-150 STX for $329 a month. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Winning at Ho-Chunk Gaming just got bigger, like mega bigger. When you win a hand-paid jackpot at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells, you're automatically entered into our mega jackpot winners quarterly drawings with a grand prize drawing on January 18th to win a new Jeep Wagoneer car buy and a chance for $100,000 in cash. Jackpot weekly drawings are going on now. Mondays, 10 winners, $500 in rewards play. Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
On the next Live at 4, for some people, what's referred to as the most wonderful time of the year can be especially difficult.
UW Health psychologist Shyla Murgain joins us to talk about coping with grief over the holidays.
This fall, only News 3 Now exposed MMSD bus route changes that created frustration for some local families.
What steps have been taken to fix these routes of concern? I'm going back to school officials for answers.
Our goal is to get students to school safely.
Monday at 6.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Thanksgiving will soon be here, and that means many of us will spend hours preparing a turkey dinner. One thing you don't want to bring to the holiday table is food poisoning. Consumer Reports reveals the one thing many of us get wrong that can make our guests seriously sick.
Rinsing off the bird is what many of us do with our Thanksgiving turkeys before they hit the oven. Spoiler alert, according to Consumer Reports and the USDA, rinsing won't make your poultry any safer. In fact, you may be doing more harm than good.
Rinsing raw poultry won't eliminate salmonella or other harmful bacteria that can make you sick. Only cooking it to 165 degrees can do that. However, what rinsing will do is increase the chances of cross-contamination in your kitchen.
That's because bacteria can easily spread to the sink, faucet, countertop, you name it. It's something home cook Marina Farrow has known for years.
I don't like washing a turkey because I'm very scared of contamination. I don't like to put it in the sink. I don't like to splash anything because it just gets everywhere.
So how should you prep your turkey? First, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and warm water. If you want to remove the raw turkey slime, pat the bird with a damp paper towel, discard it, and then immediately wash your hands again. And then
I season it the way I want it, and I put it into the tray, and it goes into the oven.
And here's another warning. Be careful of those spice containers. Research has shown they can be covered in bacteria, which can easily spread to your hands and then the food you're preparing. To play it safe, Consumer Reports recommends pouring seasonings into a separate dish beforehand and discard what you don't use. You may also want to wipe down the containers after use. And don't forget to wash your hands before and after you check that online recipe. Research has found your phone may be teeming with bacteria that can travel to everything you touch, including food. This is Jaima Crespo.
Also, be mindful of your sponges too. They're hotbeds of bacteria. Sanitize them in the dishwasher or microwave wet ones for 1 minute. And if they start to smell, that's your cue to throw them away. All right, let's get a look at your first one forecast with the meteorologist, Blaze Keller. Blaze.
And after a rainy and kind of dreary weekend, we are anticipating more sunshine in time for Veterans Day here across central and southern Wisconsin. Probably going to lean more partly sunny than mostly clear, but still more sunshine than what we've seen this past weekend. Temperature-wise for both Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be sitting underneath 40s, mid to upper 40s, and then rain looks to return as we go into your Wednesday. We're going to be dealing with breezy conditions on your Monday as we begin to move this system out of the Midwest. So gusts could be upwards of maybe 30 to maybe 35 miles per hour as we go into especially the late morning through the mid-afternoon. You're seeing that there at about 11 o'clock. Some of our gusts upwards of about 29 to 35 miles per hour. The breeziest conditions are going to be found further north and east as we kick off your next work week. Winds die down overnight Monday and then actually turn out of the south in time for Tuesday, and that's going to move back the moisture needed for the rain that we could see by Wednesday. In terms of what we're going to anticipate for cloud cover on Monday, because we're not anticipating any rain, I think we're going to see a little bit more cloud cover throughout the day further north and east, maybe leaning more mostly cloudy, I think, outside of our coverage area, north and east of Fond du Lac. Further south and west, you're going to be seeing more sunshine than even central parts of the viewing area. So we'll go with a mix of partly sunny to mostly clear conditions. with, again, breezy conditions at times and temperatures in those mid to upper 40s, especially earlier in the day because our northwesterly winds, they're actually going to be cooling us down as we go throughout the day. After rebounding back into those mid 40s into the afternoon, overnight going into Tuesday, we're looking to be clear and dipping into those 30s. So that rain does arrive as we head into your Wednesday, probably going to hold off until later into the day and really be the most widespread, I would say, overnight Wednesday into Thursday, looking at a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall out of this next rain. And it wraps up by the time we go into your Thursday, I think earlier in the day than what Future Track is trying to keep it around for, which would be into the at least early afternoon. Anywhere between a couple tenths of an inch to a quarter of an inch should be expected with this next round of rain. If it were to last into Thursday, it would wrap up earlier than later, and we'll just take that additional rainfall as we continue to see drought conditions here across central and southern Wisconsin, not to mention across really the entire state. Over the next 8 to 14 days, so this is even out beyond our extended forecast, we are looking at the continuation of wetter than normal conditions. So we're not quite done with rain chances yet over at least the next 14 days. There is a look at your 10-day forecast, and we are anticipating some additional rain by that following weekend. So after we dry out Wednesday, we do see the rain return by that following weekend, or your upcoming weekend, I should say. And then waking up Monday and on Wednesday of that following week, we might be cool enough to get some snowflakes kind of moving through the atmosphere. They would not be sticking around as our daytime highs are still well above freezing, and our overnight lows, while they do kind of dip into that freezing level, they don't stay that cold for that long. So people who are not ready for snow, I don't anticipate that sticking around, and if it were to be, it would be very, very light. So we're not quite into winter yet.
Yeah, I'm not ready for the snow, but it would make it feel a little bit more Christmas-like since our TVs are being flooded with all these holiday commercials, which I think is odd because it feels like Halloween was not too long ago when we still haven't even gotten to Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I don't like seeing Christmas commercials right
now. Yeah, I mean, if we certainly got some snow on the ground, it might make it at least be a little bit more tolerable, but I don't see any widespread heavy snow in at least the next 10 days for sure.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. CBS News projects President-elect Donald Trump has won Arizona's 11 electoral votes, raising his tally to 312 versus 226 for Vice President Kamala Harris. Trump is prepping to fill key cabinet positions in days ahead. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides is in West Palm Beach, Florida, where the transition team has offices.
Mr. President, come talk to us.
President Biden did not answer questions from reporters as he and the First Lady walked on a Delaware beach Sunday, including whether he thinks he could have beaten President-elect Donald Trump in last week's election. Trump won a clean sweep of the 7 battleground states in his dramatic comeback victory. CBS News projects he flipped Arizona to the win column after 2020's loss to President Biden.
I think this is a presidency that has a mandate like we haven't seen, as you mentioned, in 36 years.
The president-elect and his team are building his second administration from the ground up while examining both domestic and foreign policy. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty is one of several names floated as the possible pick for Secretary of State. On Face the Nation, Hagerty reiterated his opposition to U.S. funds going to defend Ukraine.
President Trump will find a way to deal with this. I'm not going to get ahead of him. I'm certain that he's going to find a way to navigate this that's in the interest of the American people and will stop the carnage.
The Trump transition team is meeting here in West Palm Beach, Florida. This week, President-elect Trump heads to Washington to meet with President Biden. As they sit down in the Oval Office in a display of the nation's transfer of power, foreign policy is likely to be on the agenda. On the campaign trail, Trump said he wants a quick end to the war in Gaza. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Hamas is blocking that effort.
In Gaza, it really today is not Israel that is standing in the way of a ceasefire and hostage deal. It is Hamas.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's spoken with Trump 3 times in recent days. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
U.S. and Israeli officials confirmed to CBS News that President Biden will meet with Israeli President Isaac Herzog at the White House on Tuesday. And Bitcoin has reached a new record high. The world's largest cryptocurrency briefly touched $80,000 for the first time Sunday. Bitcoin surged in the run-up to Tuesday's election and surged again once it became clear Donald Trump would win. It has since continued to rise following the president-elect's victory, which investors believe is a bullish sign for the crypto industry. Trump has fully embraced crypto in recent months and said he wants it to be mined and minted in the U.S. He also proposed to launch a strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. Saturday, Qatar announced it has paused the mediator for Gaza ceasefire between Israel and Hamas due to both sides being unable to reach an agreement. A diplomat familiar with the decision says Qatar's capital, Doha, has also decided to permanently close the Hamas office, with the office possibly reopening when both sides show sincere willingness of putting an end to the war. And the diplomat also says that back in April, a similar move was made when Doha temporarily closed the Hamas office. And coming up in sports, a doubleheader at the Kohl Center. Andrew has the highlights from Wisconsin men's and women's hoops next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You expect your healthcare provider to take the time to listen to you, to learn more about you and why you came in. That's the care you expect, and that's the care we deliver at Upland Hills Health. Whether it's in our Dodgeville Hospital or at one of our 7 clinics, our skilled doctors and healthcare professionals personalize care for you and every member of your family. Upland Hills Health Hospital and Clinics. The care you expect, close to home.
Hey, babe, what's a 5-letter word that starts with PH and ends with NE? Clue is get 4 of these for free with 4 lines for $90 a month at US Cellular.
James, have you tried the 4 free phone flakes? I love these free phone flakes.
Hey, Dad, 4 free phones.
Each serving has 4 free phones.
4 free phones?
Thanks.
Oh.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
Choose 4 free phones and 4 lines for $90 a month. No trade-in needed. US Cellular.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Dashing has been very helpful for me. Definitely brought me a significant amount of extra income and allowed me to comfortably pay my bills and live a lifestyle and get out and have some fun. Portable benefits would be great. It would allow me to afford health care, dental insurance, and vision insurance. That's great because, as you can see, I wear glasses. I will need to get more eye exams because I'm getting up there in age. I love the freedom and flexibility of Dashing, and portable benefits will give me an additional peace of mind.
Figured you want your usual.
Thank you. You know me too well.
Enjoy your pie.
For last-minute gifts, the people you hold dear, and everyone on your list. Holiday scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery are here, with prices ranging from $1 to $20 and top prizes up to $100,000.
Great minds.
With so many games to choose from, it's easy to find gifts for everyone at your local Wisconsin Lottery retailer.
What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle. But like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Oh yeah, well, you make my dreams come true. Well, you. Oh yeah, you make my dreams come true.
Wisconsin men's basketball scheduled some easier games to start their season, as teams do. And while they're 2-0 to start the year, they've had to stage some heavy comebacks. Today was no different. Appalachian State at the Kohl Center. The Mountaineers got out to a 17-8 lead in this one, but then it was Tanjay time. The Mizzou transfer has been terrific, forces the steal on one end, leads the break, and finds the big man. Steven Crowell down low. He puts it through the net for 2. That's 9 straight points for Bucky. But John Tonje was just getting going. Not long after, he's all the way in the corner. All 3 of those make it 14 straight for Bucky. But that was still too close. This 5-point lead Wisconsin's found all of a sudden still too close for the new guy. Tonje gets the steal on one end again and turns it into even more points. He finished with 17 of them. The Badgers end the first half on a 28-3 run, and they'd win it 87-56.
Want to be able to do it in these type of games and to give you a chance to execute it against, bigger and better teams. So that's the exciting part about this group is the growth that we've seen from when we started, a week ago, to where they've, taken some steps forward. But we got a lot more to go.
And the Wisconsin women hosting Georgetown. Badgers trailing by 3. Just a few seconds left before half, but plenty of time for Ronnie Porter. Porter sinks the buzzer beater before the break, but there was more where that came from. Skipping ahead to the end of the 3rd quarter, Wisconsin leading by 2, and why not do it again? Ronnie, before the horn, gives Bucky a bigger lead. Porter's presence was pivotal in this one. She finished with 26 points and 4 steals. The Badgers win it 79-61. Giannis and the Bucks hosting the Celtics. Just 2-7 on the season are the Bucks. And after calling out his teammates the other night, Giannis brought the juice today in Milwaukee. Yams home the dunk. 2 teams battling in the 4th quarter, and later, Bucks down 5, less than 2 minutes to go. And look at this. Giannis to the rack. Gives him 40 points on the day, his 50th career 40-point game. But if you know anything about him, and you do, all he cares about is getting that W. That didn't happen today. Milwaukee falls again, 113-107, the final score. Well, as you know, the Packers are off this week, but we couldn't go an entire Sunday show without showing you some football. So let's get to our Badger Blitz. Former Badgers making big impacts everywhere. None bigger than Leo Chanel, the 2-time Super Bowl champion with the game on the line. He blocks the Broncos field goal. His Chiefs, they stay undefeated, 16-14. Elsewhere, Russ was dangerous. Russell Wilson and his Steelers, they haven't missed a beat since he took over, and that didn't change today. Pittsburgh takes a thriller, 28-27. We'll be right back. Lance.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
I just this morning made a new hole in my belt, so that was super exciting.
Why are women everywhere choosing Sonobello, the advanced solution for permanent fat removal?
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all.
And my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sonobello's best offer of the year. Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
Check it out, Snatch Waist. Loving the results.
It will change your life. It did for me.
Call 1-888-510-6198 now, or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
Dear road rivals, no truck on the road drives value like the Tundra. Day after day, mile after mile, it all adds up to big savings under the hood. What's under yours? Toyota Tundra.
Right now, you can get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a new Tundra. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're unboxing unbeatable values for your home every Friday in November, because every day is like Black Friday at Bob's. And our first unboxing is complete dining sets for just $5.99. We're serving up stunning mid-century style with comfy Bobapedic seating, a timeless extendable set with your choice of finishes, height seating, and more, all just $5.99. I know, it's emotional. So check back every Friday for a new unboxing, because every day is like Black Friday when you dare to compare at Bob's.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Pick and Save.
for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $2 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
No matter what your dream is, Spectrum Business can connect you to it. That's life unlimited.
Wisconsin Broadcasters. Local, trusted, connected.
We're about 3 months into the school year in the Madison Metropolitan School District and almost 2 years into MMSD's contract with First Student Bus Services. News 3 Now has been following parents' concerns about the buses since last year, from late pickups and drop-offs to buses missing stops entirely. So what progress has been made? District officials say the shortage of drivers caused them to switch to a 3-tier bus system, which remains today, and they altered some school start times. Now, the district says everything's rolling along smoothly.
Our yellow buses calculated for the month of October have been on time 98% of the time. We're very pleased with the First Student in our schools and our students in getting all of our kids to school safe and on time.
Mike Herding says First Student and the district meet regularly, especially when they receive complaints or concerns. They may require changing a bus stop from time to time, but do parents agree on the wheels and how things should be? Watch out tomorrow to find out more at 6 from our Armand Rahman, who always does great work.
Well, speaking of traveling, covering some miles, the Madison Marathon was today.
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell you himself, but Jalen did participate in it. I know I couldn't finish that place. There's no question.
No.
So
I mean,
congrats.
you guys in a way have been a part of that journey. You saw me training multiple times. We stay in constant communication, but Blaze, it was raining out there. Is that going to be the case?
It will not. We'll see more sunshine, but breezy conditions for Veterans Day.